speaker to represent them during convocation. This involves quite a long process. This year, the graduates in the Chinese medicine program have chosen Keith McDonald, a student known for his dedication to study as well as his good sense of humor, for this honor. Keith McDonald.
I'm so glad I didn't fall on the stairs. Oh, it's times like this I wish I had bought the old theme song package for the Keith Mobile here. It'd be helpful for this awkward silence. I'm standing here today because I was saved by Chinese medicine. You see, the toilets at NCNM have an auto flush feature that doesn't always wait until you're done. So one day, during my morning bowel movement, the toilet began flushing, and the thing kept flushing. I mean, it must have flushed 12 times. And before I realized it, I found myself suctioned to the bowl of this toilet so strongly that I could not move. What could I do? I had to give myself free somehow. I mean, I had to get back to class. And I was just about starting to panic when I realized that Chinese medicine was the answer. I was able to use the cupping removal technique, avoid suction, and return to class. So, word to the teachers that are still staying here. If cupping were taught earlier in the program, maybe more people would return from their breaks on time. The Taoist philosopher Zhuangzi tells a story of a dreamy young scholar who one day, while chasing butterflies, finds himself in the luxurious garden of the local magistrate. There he comes across the magistrate's daughter, and he is so entranced by her beauty that he vows to work hard to pass all of his imperial exams so that he can be worthy of her hand in marriage. Each of us has chased a different butterfly into the garden of NCNM. However, once here, we were all entranced by the rich history, the beauty, and the elegance of Chinese medicine. And each of us, in our own way, have vowed to work hard to be worthy of it. The Chinese idea of work is symbolized by the character gong, which looks similar to our capital letter I. It depicts an upright scholar, firmly rooted in his tradition, wearing a funny square hat. This symbol has been a fundamental part of our curriculum, learning to cultivate our energy and awareness through Qigong. But more importantly, it has permeated every aspect of our development here. In other words, we've all had to gong pretty darn hard to get through this program. As a result, each of us is a scholar, firmly rooted in this medicine and the traditions that have formed our personal lineage. Each of us is a passionate and dedicated physician with a strong belief in the healing power of nature. And yes, just in case the gong reference still seems a bit vague to some of you, we are all wearing funny square hats. So what have we been doing here at NCNM? In the midst of over 3,576 hours of class and clinic time and countless hours of study, we have been answering your medical questions. Questions like, what's this thing on my arm? Can I be getting bald and still get dandruff? And my favorite, Uncle Keith, do we really have pathways of cheese in our bodies? We have learned that the answer to these questions, and in fact every question in Chinese medicine, this is a pearl, is that it depends. We've all gone through the classical medical school syndrome called every disease I am learning about, I have. And lastly, we've been learning that to preserve health, one should eat balanced diets at regular times. arise and retire at regular hours, and avoid overstressing our bodies and our minds. Granted, none of us has had the opportunity to try anything like this out there, but they sound pretty darn good, and we're all looking forward to it. Einstein might have had a point when he said, "The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education." As you can see, our time here at NCNM has been quite exhausting, which begs the question, would any of us do it again? And the answer to that question, at least for myself, is hell no. But let me qualify my answer just a little bit. I wouldn't do it a second time, but I would not do it again for the first time. I truly believe this to be the most unique and comprehensive Chinese program in the world, drawing traditions from no less than 5 continents. So whether I ever insert another needle, prescribe another herbal formula, or stretch another muscle, the ways that I have grown and developed as a human being have been worth every moment that I've spent here. Rudolf Steiner once said, "Man is not a being who stands still. He is a being in the process of becoming. The more he enables himself to become, the more he fulfills his true mission." NCNM has played a significant role in my becoming, and for that, I am truly grateful. Yet this becoming has not been without its share of growing pains. They say the call to medicine is one of the greatest acts of selflessness, and perhaps it is. The trip through medical school, on the other hand, has got to be one of the most selfish acts any of us has ever undertaken. We've missed birthdays and weddings and anniversaries, and most recently, Father's Day. Sorry, Dad. We have missed trips home, we have missed significant family milestones, and we have missed births, and we have missed deaths. And from you, we have required inordinate amounts of love, attention, consolation, and nurturing. While preparing for this speech, a joke kept popping into my head, and each time I would gently push it aside, saying, "No, Keith, a pirate joke is just not appropriate for something as prestigious as a medical school graduation." But in the spirit of Bill Frazier, I am going to tell it anyway. Here it is. A pirate walks into a bar, and he's got the steering wheel to his ship sticking out of the front of his pants. The bartender says, "Man, what's with the steering wheel?" The pirate looks up with his one good eye and he says, "Arr, it's driving me nuts." No, medical school is not something that one does alone. In fact, it could not have been done without our partners, our families, and our friends. And at some point, we have driven all of them nuts. With this in mind, let me get through some thank yous. And I do this on behalf of an outstanding group of scholars who represent a collection of debt roughly equivalent to the GNP of a small country. Thank you to President Schleich and the Board of Directors who continue to make this a superb educational institution with its roots deeply in the past and its vision looking 7 generations into the future. Thank you to Cheryl, Matt, and Marnie in Student Services who have helped us successfully navigate the student handbook, yet shown inspiring compassion through our difficult times. Thank you to Lori in Financial Aid who helped us pay for this whole thing. Thank you to Francine and Kelly, the registrars, who have put up with our diverse scheduling needs with exceptional patience. Thank you to our Dean, Lori Regan, and the staff of the Chinese Medicine Office, who are the central hub of this program. Thank you, of course, to all of our professors, clinical directors, and adjunct faculty for sharing your knowledge, wisdom, and support with us while under your watch. Most importantly, thank you to you, our friends and families who have been there for us every step of the way. Like the scholar in Zhuangzi's tale, we have passed all of our exams, and we have finished all of our tasks. Today, in this ceremony, we consecrate our vows to the oldest medical science on the planet. A planet and a population deeply in need of what we have to offer. I know healthcare reform is big news today, and I wanted to point out that this event is healthcare reform. Albert Einstein once said that a problem cannot be solved on the same level of thinking that created it. Each of us graduating today has dropped the yoke of sick care. Our medicine rather focuses on prevention, wellness, lifestyle change, and synergy with the world in which we live. Ladies and gentlemen, this is healthcare reform. It is a long-standing journey ahead, but that journey begins with each step that each of us take across this stage today. Please join me in congratulating the NCNM graduating class of 2011.